How to get podcasts onto your iPod. Hello and welcome to Videojug. What is a podcast? Podcasting is a method of broadcasting files, either audio or video, on the internet. Users subscribe to a feed to receive podcasts automatically. This is usually free. We're going to show you how to get podcasts of your favourite radio or comedy shows on your iPod. This information is relevant from both PC or Mac computers. Step 1. You will need an iPod to USB cable, and a computer with an internet connection. Step 2. Getting started. If you haven't already set up your iPod or installed iTunes, refer to Videojug How to Get Started with Your iPod for a detailed instruction. Step 3. Downloading a podcast. In iTunes, click Podcasts in the library list on the left of the screen. Click on Podcast Directory at the bottom right hand of the window. This will take you to the iTunes Store podcast page. Now have a look around and decide on the one you want. Podcasts are often categorized into episodes. If you only want one episode, click Get Episode. If you want to subscribe to the whole series, click Subscribe. Click on Downloads in the library list to see the progress of your podcast downloads. Step 4. Transfer the podcast to your iPod. Plug the smaller end of the cable, which is the USB connector, into the USB port of your computer. This can be identified by the USB logo. Plug the other end of the cable, which is called the dock connector, into the base of your iPod. A Do Not Disconnect message will show up on the iPod screen. Step 5. Automatic updating. By default, iTunes will automatically start transferring the tracks from the computer to your iPod. This is called synchronizing. It is important that you do not disconnect the iPod while the transfer is happening. When the iPod has finished the transfer, the iTunes window will state iPod update is complete. Click the eject button next to the iPod icon. Wait for the iPod screen to light up, then disconnect. Whenever you add or remove songs from iTunes, your iPod will automatically be updated the next time you connect it to your computer. Step 6. Manual updating. If you do not want iTunes to automatically update your iPod, you can change the settings to manually update. To manually update, open iTunes and connect your iPod to the computer. Click on the iPod icon in the library list. The main display will change to your iPod summary. Click on the Podcast tab at the top of the display panel and uncheck the Sync Podcast box. Now, to update your iPod, simply drag and drop your wanted podcast onto your iPod icon. Done. Watch our other iPod video jugs for more ways to use your iPod.